Good day, good day. How's it going, people? Hopefully, everyone is doing amazing. And guess what? I'm back for a little bit here again. And last week I was not on, and then obviously the first week of the month, which was the 30th to the 3rd. Trading was a bit slow, but still pretty good. Last week I hardly even traded just because I had some family time and was actually in the place that you call happiest place on earth. And for those that don't know, in California they call it Disneyland. And ended up taking my little munchkins to the park, and they had tons of fun, which I didn't mind it either. It was pretty fun as well. But anyways, finally this week I was able to get a lot more focused back into the charts, and this week has been actually a bit slow, just not to say the least. But there were very nice trading opportunities for Tuesday and also today, Thursday, and so I will be going over that right now. So let's get to it. And so Monday there was no trading. The reason why is because you generally don't want to trade on Mondays unless there's some red news or it's the week of non-farm payroll, because they'll use Monday to engineer liquidity, to create liquidity, and then on Friday kick everybody's butt. All right, so pretty much kick everybody's ass. For those of you that are like, damn, why didn't you just say the A word? Anyways, so let's get to it. And so for Tuesday, there was a pretty nice opportunity. Some of these, yesterday was somewhat of a very nice one, but it did not hit my my target here it did not hit my order limit here. I was looking for a 50% entry into this. You can see the fair value gap here held. There are times where this happens and there's nothing you can do about it. Target is right here, stop goes below here. This whole thing is breaker, but you can see here it uses fair value gap, and like I said, there's times where this happens and other times where it will actually wick all the way down in here, maybe even 50% of this wick, and that's kind of what I was looking for, especially because we also had this inverse area as well. And that was right around that 50% area. And I was like, okay, this might just come down in here where it'll do that. And there's also this fair value gap as well, which is right after stock market open. First fair value gap created, and it did not get there. So definitely was looking to get in, like I said, 50% retracement of that into this area, and no smoke happened. So no trading happened there. And then for Tuesday, although I did not take the trade on Tuesday for, let me see, this is the 14th, has to be Tuesday. I did not do anything for ES. I did take it for NQ. And so let's go over that. And by the way, for NQ yesterday, there wasn't that same move. You can see here. In a lower time frame, it did look pretty nicely, but there was no 2022 setup, which is exactly what I trade. If you've been following my channel, it's really the that unicorn 2022 mentorship model, and that just didn't happen. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and make that bigger. And this is actually the trade of today, Thursday. You can see here is the swing move in here. Right after 10 a.m. Eastern time, there was SMD, so smart money divergence between ES and NQ. You can look at your 1-minute charts, you can see what I mean. One is creating a higher high where the other one made a higher low. That's SMD, smart money divergence. And then I was able to draw my fib from this high to this low, right? And you can see it came right inside this fair value gap, sold, and then I took 50% of the range from here to here, and this is where I took my profit. And actually I took a little bit more, which came down in here, in this area, somewhere around here, and was able to take a little bit more than just that 50%. So obviously not too big of points, but you can see it came down very nicely. It came right back up into this fair value gap area. At this point, I'm no longer looking at the markets. The reason why is because as soon as I take one trade, whether it's a win or a loss, that's what it is. And for me right now, that works for me. So you got to find what works for you, okay? And keep in mind these were buy stops that were taken here in the AM session. And so, very nice. And anyways, let me keep going here. Let's go over the trade for Tuesday. This was Wednesday, which nothing really happened. And this is the one I was talking about in here, but didn't do anything because, once again, right, it's not the... You can kind of see the market doing this where it took out this high, but to my 2022 setup, and if you watch my little mini course, this is not an A setup. This is more like a D setup, which can still work out, as you can see, right? But it's just not a setup that I'm looking to get into. In that case, the ES was a lot better. And then this was on Tuesday here. A very beautiful trade that occurred. You can see this is an inverse. Let me zoom in on this, actually, just so I could go over it better. You can see in here, it was a nice... we made a higher high from this impulse leg, came back down. This was the low. Made a higher high from this high to this high. This is higher, and then they made low, broke structure. This is a market structure shift, right? There was no market structure shift in here after 10 a.m. Eastern. Instead, it happened a little bit after. And by the way, I believe this day was crude oil news. I have noticed where sometimes crude oil news will create that. I have noticed where sometimes crude oil news, you'll have to wait for it. And that's that 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, where for whatever reason, like I said, crude oil news. Okay, actually, that was on Wednesday. All right. Well, anyways, so the market will make an impulse leg, made the high, took this high out, and then made another higher high, and then it came straight down. And from there, you can see the market had this inverse here, sell, target, and then first target. For me, I always like to do a 1-to-1, pretty much where I get in, and then target in here. This is my first target, and then if I'm looking to get in for second targets, this would have been a second target in here, and then obviously this is actually even another trade entry. And then you could be confident that because this gap was left open, you're definitely going to go down here and shoot for this low. Otherwise, like I said, I'm more than happy to just get this first target in here. That's all I need for my own, mind, and that way it could be stimulated when it comes to trading. And that's it for me. I'm not really, the big mover here, looking for big moves. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, especially coming back from, like my little break here and there. In the 2-minute, you can see it used, this is a breaker, excuse me, not a breaker, order block here. I would see this as a breaker. The breaker's right here. This is the breaker, this black candle in here. You can see it did not go above that. So even stops could have been below here, above the breaker right in here, and it never would have hit that. My stops, I like to keep them above in here. So I like to make sure when the market does the market structure shift, I like to make sure I use all 3 PD arrays. So in this case, 50% is 1 PD array, right? And then you have this order block in here. You have the breaker. Instead of using this order block, I would rather use the breaker. So that's my second PD array. And obviously the third would be this order block here. If that 50% gets taken out, which is this pretty much just 79% retracement, which I don't really use it, but I like to have them here in my chart, just because I keep seeing this and it just happens over and over and over. And anyways, you can see that that's about 50% of this order block right in here, and if that gives out, then it's a very good indication that the market is just going to continue. I have seen it where sometimes it'll use literally it'll use 50% of the wick, and then from there it'll start heading lower. That is very, very, it doesn't happen, it hasn't happened all the time, but you I definitely seen it. So this is the reason why I like to just have my stop right around this area, right up, right in here, not above it, just right in there. Okay, that is the sweet spot for me. I have seen it where in forex, it will wick through sometimes right here by a little bit, either by a pip, 2 pips, pretty much the spread, and it'll take you out if you have your stop there. If not, sometimes you do gotta give a 5 pip spread of wiggle room, so to speak, and then you see the market go back in your favor. And I have not seen that really happen in indices. Actually, technically I have. It's just I see that way more common with forex, and I think it just has to do because of spreads. And with that being said, I will like to let you guys know that at this moment, I'm currently only pretty much trading NASDAQ and ES. So NASDAQ, both of these are E-mini, so E-mini S&P, and obviously NASDAQ E-mini. And then also, you can see here there's a nice trade in here where the market, this was during the PM session. I usually don't do anything until after, this is 2 p.m. Eastern time. You can see in here on a lower time frame, this looks very nice. I didn't do anything though. I figured probably could have gotten a move up in here in this area. There was no setup that happened, and that's pretty much it. And either way, PM session is not really my strength. My strength has pretty much been the 9:30 Eastern time all the way into 11 a.m. Eastern time. That's really my strength from what I've seen, at least. And so that's really what I'm going to go ahead and stick to, and what I've been sticking to lately. And as you can see, this is really all you need. 2 trades for the week, both winners, and that's it. That's really all you need. If I want to trade tomorrow, I can. I don't have to. I'm still going to do it. I actually do trade Fridays still. I'm a lot more conservative though on Fridays if I do trade it. Just because let me see what's there for tomorrow. Tomorrow there's absolutely no red news at all. So when that happens, they'll most likely use the 9:30 a.m. stock market open. There is some orange news at 8:30, which has to do with building permits, but I don't think that's going to make much of a movement. I think they're going to use the 9:30 Eastern time to create a setup, and if so, then I'll go ahead and judge the market kind of where we're at, and from there make a decision on either short or to go long. And by the way, to know how to go short or how to go long, I do talk about that in my course as well, so you guys can check that out. And what I do, I am a contrarian trader. I don't go with the market. I know ICT has taught going with the trend and being able to look into bias. I do look at bias here and there, but it's not something that I make a decision when it comes to trading. I really am a contrarian trader, meaning if we take out sell stops or buy stops in this case here, I'm looking to go the other way. Okay, if we take out sell stops here, then I want to buy it, and you can see the market does that, right? And so far we've been in that consolidating area where this sort of trading just does very, very well. And so we're in those market conditions that like I said, it's doing pretty good. Other than that, there's times where the market will continue moving in the direction, right, in just one direction, and it'll give that false move, and those are the times I have a loss. That hasn't really happened. Now there are ways to filter that as well, but because it hasn't happened, I'm definitely 100% sure. I've talked about it already in all the previous videos that I've done. I can't remember exactly from the top of my head which one was it, but keep watching, stay tuned. Subscribe, comment, like for more of these, and like I said, if you guys like my little mini course, or maybe you want something else for me to talk about, then let me know. Otherwise, thank you again for watching, and you can do this yourself. I know you can. All right, don't let anyone else tell you that this thing doesn't work, that ICT 2022 unicorn does not work. It definitely does work. Okay, keep going at it, keep working at it, and just look at what I do. Look at what I did today, right? This was today. Look at my levels here. Look at what I did here. And I don't want to show you all this, right? I don't want to show you all that. Look at your chart. Zoom out on your end. See what it was. What is that? Okay? Little clues here that I'm giving you. The reason why is because you need to be able to think critically, right? Think on your own 2 feet. And little by little, you'll get it. We'll talk to you guys later.